So, I did not actually intend to do a plan to pan sort of thing this year. I didn't do one last year, and that was mostly because I was about to have a baby and I wasn't confident that I'd be able to follow through. Seeing how last year went, that was probably smart. However, I did actually end up finishing quite a few products that would have been on my 25 in 2025 had I actually shared that list with you. So on the spur of the moment, and maybe in an abundance of optimism, I have decided to put together a list of 26 products I would like to finish in the year 2026. I have all 26 products in front of me here. Well, no, I have 25 products. One of them has gone AWOL, but I am confident that it will turn up. So we'll talk about that one as well. I'm going to go over the list with you. I will show you each product and we will talk about my goals. Now, I'm not going to be treating this as a separate project pan, although I may update you throughout the year. What this is more of a statement of intent. These are products that I really especially want to be able to focus on throughout the year, and I will be trying to draw from this list when I'm choosing products for other projects that I'm involved in, like Throwback 30 or Deck of Panning. These are in no particular order. I just listed them as they occurred to me, and the first one on this list is this little guy here. This is not a Rare Beauty blush. This is a knockoff that I got off of Amazon some time ago. This is the Dan Visit Liquid Blush in the shade Cool Pink. It is so pretty. I love the shade. I love the level of opacity. It doesn't require a whole lot of building up, but it's also not so pigmented that it's super easy to go overboard. A really nice blush. I have already used quite a lot of this. You can see the windowing in the tube right there, but I have kind of gotten distracted by other blushes in my collection, and I think this one, more than any of my other blushes, I actually have a pretty good chance of finishing this by the end of the year, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get this one done. Next, I have actually quite a few base products. I have 5 foundations here that I would like to finish in the year 2026. That sounds like a lot, and it is. However, in the past, I have been able to finish this number of foundations within a calendar year, so long as there's a good amount of use on some of them. And that is the case for most of these. The first one I have here is my Huda Beauty Easy Blur Foundation. This is in the shade Latte 300N. This is probably my favorite foundation right now, enough so that I accidentally rolled this into 2 project pans. I rolled this into my Throwback 30 back in September and then kind of forgot that I had done so. And so just a couple of weeks ago, I rolled it into my 50 Shades of Black project pan. That is neither here nor there. I will sort that out. This is a foundation that I actually used quite a lot last year, and so I think I have a good chance of finishing this by the end of 2026. The second one here, I also think I have a pretty good chance of finishing. This is my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. Now, if you watched my foundation declutter, you will recognize this as one of the foundations that I decluttered. However, as I was transferring my declutters into another container, I realized that the bottle was actually quite light and there is not a whole lot of foundation left in here. And as much as this isn't my favorite foundation, I really would prefer to use it up rather than decluttering it. And I think we have a good chance of being able to do that. Now, because this foundation isn't my favorite on its own, I'm going to be frankening this with another product. Obviously, that's going to stretch out this product a little bit and it's going to take me a little bit longer to finish it than it would otherwise. However, I still think it's doable within the year. I would also like to finish my Fenty Beauty, let's see, Ease Drop Blur and Smooth Tint Stick. This is such a pretty cream foundation. It has more of a light coverage, and I have this much product left. I have to be careful when rolling it up because it has broken off the base, which makes it a little bit more difficult to use. And I really would like to get it out of my collection. I really do enjoy the stick though. It is one of the better cream foundations that I have tried. This shade matches me pretty well, which is unusual, and a thin layer all over the face is almost invisible. This doesn't require me to use any other color cosmetics in order to restore any life or dimension back to my face. I think it's partially because it's more of a light coverage, but also because it is so undetectable on the skin. This is fantastic for those days when I'm in a hurry and I'd like a little bit of something on my face, but I don't have the time for a full routine. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to finish this one by the end of the year as well. I know, I don't need to say that every time. We're trying to finish all of these by the end of the year. Watch though, I'm gonna say it 72 more times anyway. The next foundation on my list is the Dior Forever. This is also not my favorite foundation. It can look really nice on the skin, but I find it a little finicky. It requires a lot of extra care in my skin prep and in the way that I apply it in order to get it to look nice and not heavy on the skin. However, when I do get it right, it is very nice. Now, I'm not as confident with this one as I am with the others, just because there's more product in here than there is with the others. This one is also getting a little bit older, so it does need to go. The reason why it survived my latest declutter is because I just spent so much money on it. And again, I would feel so much better if I could finish this rather than having to declutter it. Last foundation, this is my TIRTIR Mask Fit Red Foundation. This is in the shade 25C Cool Taupe. This one I picked up last summer and I wore it all summer long because the staying power on my oily skin is unmatched. I think I'm going to get a lot of play out of this coming summer as well. So I think I have a good chance of being able to finish it up completely. That is a lot of foundation. I'm not going to lie. It's quite a lot of foundation. And again, I may be a little optimistic here. Honestly, that's just how I roll. Overpromise and underdeliver. I'm going to edit that out. It is though. It kind of is. I have to have big goals in order to get excited. So the next product is the one that I don't have here to show you. I used it yesterday and then it disappeared from my vanity, and I'm pretty sure that my 4-year-old had something to do with it. So I'm pretty confident this one will also turn up, and when it does, I am going to use it up. I'm talking about my LA Girl Blue Foundation Mixer. I'm about half done with this bottle, but I've kind of stalled out because I found another blue mixer that I prefer. So I kind of abandoned this one and started using the other one, but this is a cream product and it's not going to last forever. Blue mixers are one of those things that I absolutely do use up because I have to mix one into my foundation almost every time I wear makeup. Because I'm a cool olive, most foundations are not going to suit me straight out of the bottle, and a blue mixer makes all the difference. So I am confident that I can get this one finished. I just need to prioritize it a little bit over other newer products that I have been using instead. The next one, I'm not super confident about this one just because I'm not a highlighter girl. However, I think I have a better chance of finishing up this highlighter than I do any other highlighter in my collection because it is a cream highlighter. It is also really, really beautiful. This is the Salt New York Cream Tint Pro in the shade Beige. It is just one of the most beautiful highlights I have ever worn. It is so pretty. You can wear just a very natural thin layer of this, or you can build it up for more of an impact. This is getting a little bit older in my collection, however, and it's just going to kill me to have to declutter such a beautiful product. So I am going to try to finish this before that happens. Next, I have my ABH contour stick in the shade Mink. This is the old contour stick. It is my favorite. I actually have a backup of this waiting for me, so I need to get this one done. I only have this much product left, but I don't use a ton of product every time I apply contour, and I'm not applying contour every day. The other factor to this is that for some reason I decided to acquire several new contour products, and that has been really dividing my focus and slowing down my progress on this contour stick. So I'm going to refocus on this and try to get it done before the end of the year. I'm also rolling in a concealer that has kind of gotten a little lost in my collection. This is the Haus Labs Triclone Concealer. This is such a good concealer, but I have been so busy using my Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer and my Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer that this one has just kind of been sitting in the drawer, and that is a shame. So I want to go ahead and pull this one back out and make a real effort to finish it. It is a little bit on the darker side. I purchased it initially because I wanted to do some more spot concealing around the face rather than under the eyes. This is great under the eyes. I have no problem with the formula. It's just this time of year, it's not going to be brightening on me at all. It actually will probably darken my under eyes a little bit, and that's not what I'm looking for. I think I will probably get the most use out of this during the summer, but I would really like to get this one done before it ages out of my collection. Next is something that honestly probably should have aged out of my collection already, but here we are. This is the NYX lip liner in the shade Mauve. This used to be my absolute favorite lip liner. Then I went through a period where I was only wearing lip gloss. I wasn't wearing lipstick. I wasn't wearing lip liner, and this kind of got forgotten. Now I am fully back on the lip liner bandwagon, and I have acquired several new lip liners, but I feel like this one was so good to me for so long, it deserves to be used up. So I'm going to try to go ahead and finish it. Let me swatch it for you. This is a rare pinky nude that doesn't turn orange on my skin, which is very hard to find. This is very much a My Lips But Better sort of lip liner, and it goes perfectly with the next lip product that I'm rolling in, which is this little mini lipstick by Makeup by Mario. This is in the shade Erin. I love this color. It is just cool enough. I don't feel like it reads cool on my skin. It reads more as a neutral, but for someone with warmer skin, it would definitely be more of a cool shade. And that little bit of coolness helps it, again, not turn orange on my skin. I really love this lipstick, but I have not been reaching for it. And that's mostly because it is broken. And using a broken lipstick is a little annoying. However, I have promised myself that I am not allowed to buy a full size of this until I have finished the mini. So I am on a mission. I've got to get this done so that I can purchase a full size. I have a few more lip products here. I actually have here all of the formulations of Clinique's Black Honey that I possess. I actually think this is all the formulations that Clinique produces of this shade. Once upon a time, they did come out with a limited edition of the Chubby Stick in the Black Honey shade, but I haven't seen that since. So here I have the Black Honey lip oil, I have the lip gloss, and I have the Almost lipstick. The lip oil is my favorite by far. It is so hydrating. It is very comfortable on the lips, and it is the perfect color. You can see how much I have already used of it, and I want to make sure that I'm including things in this list that I'm really going to enjoy finishing, and I'm definitely going to enjoy finishing this one. The Almost lipstick I like a little less, and that's because I find it actually kind of drying, which is surprising for a more balm-like product, but I don't think I have a ton left here, and I really do like the shade, and so I might as well get it done. Then I have the lip gloss. Now this is a perfectly nice gloss. I don't think there's anything really noteworthy about the formula, but every time I put it on, I feel like I'm wearing a dupe because the color's just not quite right. However, it is really pretty and it's starting to get a little older in my collection. I feel like if I don't take the opportunity to finish it now, I'm probably not going to. Another lip gloss I would like to finish is this one from Buxom. It is in the shade Brandy. I have been through so many tubes of this, and I actually have a backup waiting for me. However, I have been spending so much time with my lipsticks lately that I've kind of neglected this, and I want to reincorporate this into my routine, remind myself why I love it so much, and get it finished. Okay, I think those are all the lip products that I have in here. I do have a little bit of skincare. I have here the TIRTIR Milk Skin Toner. This is actually something I picked up at Costco. It was a 2-pack with some little samples of their ceramide cream. I've been really loving this as kind of an alternative to my Laneige Cream Skin Mist. It's really nice and hydrating. I really enjoy applying this before makeup because it is so lightweight. I don't feel like it adds a whole lot of extra product to the face that could interfere with my makeup products. I do feel like during the winter I need a little bit of extra hydration. I'm also going to be finishing the Vanilla Zero Cleansing Balm. This is a really nice cleansing balm. Now, I don't use this every night. I feel like, listen, I know we should all be double cleansing our skin, but I will admit that I am not the most consistent with my skincare, and there are nights when I just can't be bothered. So I'm hoping this goal will help me be a little bit more consistent. I also have this tube of my Levito Nurturing Hand Cream. Now it is missing the cap, courtesy of my son, so I've got to use this up before it dries out. This is the lavender scent. I have also used the patchouli. Now, I do find the scent on this hand cream to be quite intense. So if fragrance is something that's really very bothersome to you, this is probably not a good choice. But the reason why I love it so much is because it is one of the only hand creams I've tried that doesn't leave that weird film on the palms of your hands. I cannot stand that. And this one just sinks right in and is very hydrating without leaving me feeling gross. Then I have these two little scribble sticks from Flower Beauty. This is in the shade Caramel. This is my second stick in that shade. I just had one in my empties recently, and this is in the shade Bittersweet. I love caramel as kind of a bronzer around the periphery of my face, and Bittersweet is one of the very few products that I like both on my lips and my cheeks. I've even used it on the eyes and I like it there as well. Usually these multi-use products really only work for me in one area, but I like this in every way that I've tried it. I have another scribble stick in the shade Espresso. I'm not sure that I would be able to finish that one because I use it very sparingly, kind of as a smoky, smudged out brown eyeliner. But with those three scribble sticks, I have a really quick, easy, full face of makeup. The next one I'm not sure I can get done, but I'm really going to enjoy trying. This is my One Size Loose powder in the shade Ultra Pink. This is my favorite powder right now. I feel like the pink shade really just meshes well with my undertone. Just a lovely all-around powder, very blurring and perfecting, just an all-around fantastic powder. I've been using this one for about, I want to say, a year and a half now, and we're at the halfway mark. This has a larger volume of product than most of the other high-end loose powders. So I'm not 100% sure that I'll be able to finish this before the end of the year. But again, I am going to really enjoy trying because I love this powder. Here's another product that I theoretically decluttered. This is my Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder Foundation. Now this, I'd kind of just forgotten it in my collection. And when it came time to declutter, this was the one I decided to let go. However, swatching it during that declutter gave me some second thoughts at the back of my brain. And I decided to pull it out one more time and try it as a foundation all over the face. I had been using it mostly as like a powder concealer just to add a little bit of coverage there at the end of my makeup routine. That is the way that I had used it most when I was using it. So it had been a while since I tried it all over the face. And you guys, it is so pretty all over the face. I don't know why I ever stopped using it in that way because it is so nice. It is a little bit on the older side, but again, something this nice, honestly, deserves to be used up. Okay, just a few more products here. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand in the shade Pinkgasm. The name is cringy, but the product is beautiful. I have not reached for this in a while, and it is starting to get a little older, but it is such a pretty product. Again, it deserves to be used. Look at this gorgeous glowy blush. This is so nice on the cheeks, and if I let this go bad in my collection, I'm just gonna feel like such a doofus. Not just because it's gorgeous, but because it cost me $42. $42. I don't know what possessed me to purchase this, but here it is. So I have got to use this up. The next thing is also really pretty, but again, I haven't been reaching for it. I have here two of the Huda Beauty. They're called the Matte and Metal. They're liquid eyeshadows, but I have two of the matte ones right here. I have Bubble Bath and Private Jet. They're really, really nice all by themselves or as a color base for other eyeshadows. And I have been neglecting them for too long. So we are going to get this done. Last, I have a hair care product. This is the Joico Defy Damage Protective. This is a heat protectant. Now, this was in my 50 Shades of Brown, and yet here it still is. I think we probably have half the bottle left, if not more. I have really not been taking the time to style my hair for a while now, but I'm making a conscious effort this year to try to reinvest some time into myself and into things I enjoy. Now, I don't enjoy styling my hair, but I do enjoy how it looks when I do. So like the Vanilla cleansing balm, I'm going to be rolling this in primarily just to give me a little bit of encouragement to spend more time on this part of my routine and be a little more consistent. So that is everything. Those are the 26 products I'm hoping to get done in 2026. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.